Hi, Assalamualaikum, and we meet again, everyone, for the series of videos to explain assessment 3 for ELC270. Okay, so in part 1, in the previous video, I have explained to you about the format and also the strategies that you have to take in order to complete assessment 3, that is the group discussion and also the portfolio. So this time around in this video, I am going to go through with you a few issues that usually takes place at the office. Okay, so hopefully this can give you some ideas on how to choose the right issues or the right topic that you are going to cover in your group discussion. Okay, so the issues that we are going to cover is actually just very surface. If you want to master the whole, you cannot master the whole. You need to gain experience. So as you grow older, then you will gain more experience about issues related to the workplace. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at the first issue, okay, or the first slide. Okay, so when you're talking about issues at the workplace, it can be divided into two. That is, the first one is issues related to human issues, or you can choose issues related to physical or infrastructure issues. So what are the issues related to human and also issues related to infrastructure? We are going to take a look at it together. So bear in mind, when you wanted to choose the issue that you want to discuss in your group as the topic of your group discussion and role play, you can consider these two, that is human or infrastructure issues. Okay, let's take a look at the first one, that is human issues. What are human issues? First is staff pinching. Staff pinching is whereby I give you a situation. For example, you have a company. So you have started a company and then you recruit a few staff to work at your company. So afterwards, you train them so that they are good in what they do for a few years. You train them and then you give them practices. So you have a few staff that is very, very good right now, that you have trained them, and then suddenly another person created a business that is probably the same business as you are, and then the person took some of your staff who actually you train, those people, but then this person setting up another company took your staff and hired them, probably by offering them a higher salary perhaps. Okay, so as if they are stealing the staff from your company. So that is what we call staff pinching. You have recruited a few people to work in your company organization, and then suddenly other people steal the staff. Okay, all right, so that is what we call staff pinching. Number 2, when you're talking about human issues, is shortage of manpower. So this is very, very it's irregular, it's very common, it happens. For example, right now we can see, due to the pandemic, a lot of hospital, a lot of the medical infrastructure in our country is shortage of manpower. So it's a problem because it causes other people to be burnt out. They are stressed out, all of the medical staff that we have as our frontliners, due to the shortage and due to the high cases of COVID-19. The manpower that we have right now is dealing with a lot of burnout cases. So this is something that is need to be dealt by the organization as soon as possible, so that we can keep the spirit high and also the motivation high. Okay, number 3, human issue is brain drain. Brain drain means the people who think about strategies, who give idea, who is in the management system, who is in the management position, is is the shortage of these people, the shortage of people who work to manage, to strategize, the brain, the thinker of the company. So when you only have people who follow followers, it's not enough. You need some people who can be the thinker, the think tank, or the brain in the company as well, in the organization as well. So we don't want the drain of this type of talent and this type of people in the company. Okay, so number 4 is domineering bosses. So if you Google domineering bosses, you can see a lot of examples of domineering bosses. Domineering can be the boss who who is irrational, who is who cannot tolerate with the staff, probably taking credits, or just be like to lash out to the staff, or ask you to do a lot of work and never think about the how the staff feel, the feeling of the staff, never ask for opinion from the other staff. So these are the type of domineering bosses. Okay, all right. And very common, this is it's not very common, but this is a well-aware issues currently. Number 5 is sexual harassment. So if you decided to cover sexual harassment as the topic for your group discussion, you can take it from the male perspective or from the female perspective. So in this case, bear in mind, not only the female can be the victim of sexual harassment, sometimes the male can also be a victim of a sexual harassment as well. Okay, so you have to be don't label or be laid out stereotypes towards people. For example, only the women or female workers can have dealing with sexual harassment. Okay, so you can also alright. Okay, next, number 6 is absenteeism or other discipline issues. Absenteeism, coming late to the office, going out, disappear. Suddenly they disappear. So they punch in the morning, and then suddenly they disappear, and then suddenly towards the end of the day, before you punch out, then you will see this person, the person who is always missing from their place. So these are some of the discipline issues that you can also choose as the topic for your group discussion. Okay, number 7. Let's take a look at number 7 is insubordination. Insubordination means the staff or the subordinates who doesn't like to follow the instruction from the leader, from the head of department. They don't want to follow the rules, they don't want to follow the instruction, so they just do whatever they feel like doing. Okay, so this is insubordination. They don't take instruction from other people. They like to do things at their own terms, using their own style. They never consider the instructions are coming from higher authority. Okay, so number 8 is sabotaging. Sabotage at the workplace. It can be in the form of you do the work, and then suddenly when there's a mistake, and then they they throw you under the bus using your name. They sabotage you without talking about you behind your back, without you knowing, so that you will look bad to the bosses, to the supervisors. So that, for me, that is a sort of sabotage as well. Okay, number 9, moonlight during office hour. This is a very fancy term, but the act itself is not fancy. Moonlight means you carry out multiple jobs at the workplace. So you don't just perform your job that you have been paid or that you are hired to do, but you also perform other jobs as well as the side job. For example, doing MLM or selling other stuff, or clothes, equipment, shawls during the office hour at the office. So this person probably focus more on the side job as compared to the permanent job. Okay, and these are done during office hours, so they run off because they have this other job. So they run off during office hour, so that is why they are usually not at their place. It's very difficult for you to contact them. They are always missing, because they focus more, or they use the office hour to do the other job. So that is what we call moonlight during office hour. Okay, other issues when it comes to human is information pilferage, which means that you have important information, confidential information, and then you choose to leak it to the public, or probably people ask you questions related to the things, or the confidential info that is available in your company, and probably offer you a sum of money, some sort of gift or present for that information. So, and then you let all of the information out. For example, if you are being it doesn't matter whether you are a public in a public organization or in a private organization, so that each company, each and all organizations have their own personal confidential information, and it's not your right to leak it or to tell the public about it. Okay. Alright, 11 is tardiness. Tardiness means that this person doesn't really take care of their the clothing, the outfit that they wear, the style is not it doesn't really go with the company's style, the image of the company. So they are very so this person usually okay. Number 12 is petty thefts. So why is it petty? Petty means something that is not as important. So for example, taking out pens from the office, or taking out stapler and then took all of the stationery, the office stationery, and then make it as your own. You take it back and then give it to you give it to your own family members, you give it to your sisters and brothers, and probably to your children for you to use. So that is what we call petty thefts. Or even if it's more serious, some people probably took some of the furniture, the office furniture, and use it at home. So this sometimes happens. You might find it funny, but it happens a lot out there. Alright, so I just share with you 12 human issues that is possible for you to choose as the topic. However, you can go out there and browse the internet for you to look for more human issues that is available if you are interested to discuss about human issues. And this is only the surface. This is a very small percentage of what is really happening right now. If you wanted to prepare yourself for the workplace, if you wanted to know more, by doing this, it's not really enough. For me myself, I read books. Okay, for example, this book that I have, The Rules of Work, and also The Rules of Management. Even though I have been working for many years, there are a lot of things that I have to learn, then that I still want to learn. And doing this, covering this subject with all of you, is actually helping me in my career as well, for me to learn more as a preparation to deal with the issues at the workplace. So if you're interested to know more, definitely you have to read more and find out about it more. So there's a lot of issues and also information and knowledge related to how to carry out yourself at the workplace, the do's and don'ts. Alright, Okay, so that is about human issues. Now let's take a look at the other part of issue, that is the infrastructure or the physical issues. Okay, now the physical or the infrastructure issues. For example, issues such as abuse of facilities. Now that you are working at the office, you have all of these facilities that is prepared for you to complete the job. But instead of using the facilities to do the job, to complete the task, you use it for your personal gain. For example, you have the copying machine, the photocopy machine, you have the office printer. Instead of using it for work, you use it for your own personal. For example, copying your printing out recipes, you print your own personal pictures, family pictures, you print it, and then the company has to cover all the costs after you use it for your personal use. You can just imagine if you give one photocopy machine, and then what are the things that people are going to take advantage of. Not just the photocopy machine, but any facilities that is available at the office. If the person use it not for work use, that is considered as abuse of facilities. And you know that in the long run, it's not good for the company, because later on the company has to bear all the costs. They have to cover all the costs. Alright. Next is occupational safety. Is the building, is the office where you work, is it safe for you in case if a fire broke out? Is it safe? Is there the lift, is it working? Is there any emergency stairs for you to use? So you have to consider that as well. So the condition of the building, is it an old building? The roof can fall at any moment if it's an old building. If it's a new building, then is it safe? Is there any crack on the wall? Things like that. Alright. Okay, issue number 3 here is the office space. Insufficient office space or too clutter, meaning that you are stationed too close together. You don't have your own personal space, or to make it worse, you don't even have a space of your own. So where are you going to do the work? So probably you just have to sit at the corridor, sit on the floor. You are not being given a space for you to work. So that is very bad. Okay, so issue number 4, amenities for staff with physical disabilities. For example, if a person have physical disabilities, does the organization, the office prepare elevator or lift that is suitable for disabled people? The toilet, is there any special toilet for disabled, or is it wheelchair friendly? Does the office have any ramp for wheelchair friendly people? What about the parking lot? Do they have parking lot specifically designed, assigned for people with physical disability? Alright. Okay, issue number 5, physical development planning. For example, lack of facilities and equipment, substandard software. Okay, you have a job to do, but the computer being given to you is a very low spec computer. It's an old computer, so the RAM, it's not enough, so it's hang all the time, so you cannot do your work properly, or the printer keeping on having problems, and also the software given is not suitable for you to do the job. So all of these are some of the issues that you need to consider if you are talking about the physical or infrastructure issues. Alright. Okay, now, so in the previous video, I have mentioned to you about if, for example, the sample situation that I use in my lecture is workplace bullying. So now let's take a look at on how are you going to prepare the portfolio, where you have to compile an article, 5 articles, and also a draft of your group discussion or the role play. Okay. Alright. Okay, now let's take a look at the article, the sample of the portfolio. Okay, so here I have with me is a sample of the portfolio. Okay, so first we have the cover, and then the name, all of your names here as usual, and then prepared for, this is my name, the lecturer, and also you can just write here the date of submission, you know, according to the date of submission. Okay, next you have table of content. Okay, so table of content, so this is the 5 articles, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, and next followed by the draft, okay, of the group discussion, and last but not least is the references. Okay, so this is the first article, bullying at the workplace. So you just have to go and find article local, from the local newspaper, and I need to know the date of the article being published. Okay, so make sure that when you copy this, or when you save the article, make sure that you save it as exactly from the website. Don't copy and paste it in Word, because sometimes when you do that, when you copy paste and from the website to Word document, sometimes you are going to miss important information such as the date and also the author. Okay, so these are all important information. It doesn't matter if you copy exactly, you know, you just click print and then save as PDF exactly from the website. Probably it will be longer, because all of the advertisement, you know, included, so the pages will become longer. So it doesn't matter, because you are going to submit it to me, you are going to submit it in soft copy, so it's no problem, as long as I can see the title, the dates, and also the author. Okay, alright, so this is bullying at the workplace, and make sure that the article is related to the discussion that you are going to have. Okay, workplace bullying. Alright, next, this is another workplace bullying and harassment. Even doctors are not spared, or even doctors are being bullied at the workplace. Here another one, I am bullied at my workplace. So you have to make sure that you have 5 articles. Okay, beware of bullies in workplace. So it could be in a form of letter to the auditor, it could be a form of a columnist, it could be a form of tips on how to handle with bullies, or it could be, you know, some confession from a person who has experience being bullied by others. So all of the articles related, you have to compile it and submit it together with the draft. So this is the draft. Okay, so first you have some introduction of the problem that your group is going to have or discuss about, and then, you know, just some short introduction of the problem. Okay, then here solution, and then explanation, solution, and explanation. Alright, so this is the draft of, this is the draft of your discussion, so that before you start with your discussion, I can actually read this first, and then at least I know I have some brief idea of what the discussion is going to be about. Okay, so and then last but not least is the references. The references is all of the link of the articles. Alright. Okay, so that is the sample. So this sample, I will put it in Google Classroom for you to refer as well. Okay. Alright, and that is all for part 2. So remember, in this video I explained to you about the issues that could take place at the workplace. whether it's human issues or whether it's a physical infrastructure issues. So you can choose any of the issues. So remember to discuss with your group members and also find relatable articles from local newspaper or local magazines, right? So that is all. So don't forget to refer to part 1 video as well. Alright, okay, thank you. That is all from me. Assalamualaikum. Inshallah I will see you again in my next video. Okay, have a nice day.